Okay, so I'm going to do my presentation on a scholarly person. So the outline is just going to be talking about some of the traits that I possess that a scholarly person also would, and then my current stage in regards to Erikson's psychosocial stages of development, and then talking about like how that relates to a book that we had to read for our class, which is called Luck is No Accident. So the first trait is passion, because I always want to like gain knowledge and learn new things about like things that I'm interested in. And I'm like always willing to like do the best work that I believe that I can when it comes to like completing a task. So then it'll be rewarding when I finish that task. And when I know that I have to complete something, I always like make sure that I focus on that and like focus on the end goal so that it always like feels good to complete something. And I know that this will be important in my future career because I like strive to end up in a career that I like look forward to like going to work every day and like being passionate about what I'm doing. So the next one is optimism, because I always try to see the positive in situations, whether or not that situation is like a good thing or a bad thing, and like learning from my mistakes. And like although things can be hard at times, I'm always like persistent towards like working towards my goals and not just giving up. And like although like no one's life is perfect, I always like remain grateful for like what I have and like the experiences that I've been able to have. And this is like also an important trait to have since I'm going to be working with like people who are like sick and in pain. So like obviously having an optimistic outlook on life will be important. And then my last one is patience, because although it can be like frustrating when people disagree with you, I think I do well at remaining calm and making sure that I like take time to process everything so that I don't end up saying something that'll offend them or something. And then I like always do my best to be respectful of like others' thoughts and feelings, and make sure that I like address their concerns in a polite way. And I always like try to be an active listener to make sure that people's thoughts are being heard and that they know that their thoughts are valued. And this is also an important trait to have, like regardless of what your career is, but especially one that's like working with people a lot. So for Erikson's developmental stages, it's like a range from 1 to 8 that like spans throughout life. So I'm currently in Erikson's 6th stage of development, which is intimacy versus isolation. And this isn't just about intimacy in regards to like finding like your lifelong partner, but more so in like building lasting connections with like your friends and like other people around you. Erikson characterized these like friendships as like closeness, honesty, and love. And forming these connections can be like very important for your career, like regardless of what you go into, because connections that you make with people can like potentially help you in the future in the long run. So this stage, like the developmental stage, helps to support my career because I want to go into a career that I'm able to like build close relationships with the people I'm working with, whether it be like the patients or just like other people that I work with in general. So for the book that we had to read, it was called Luck is No Accident, which like the main thing I kind of took from it was just like learning more about how to make the best out of all types of situations. And it just kind of showed like a reminder that there's like always something to take away from a situation, whether it be like learning from your mistakes or just bettering yourself overall. So one of the stories kind of reminded me about how like making connections can like help benefit you in the future. So just like a quick overview about what the story was. It was like about this girl who would like always go in to get extra help in one of her classes with her TA to make sure she was doing everything right. And then the next semester she like wanted to sign up to do like a research project thing, but then she ended up like not applying for it because she didn't think like she didn't really have any experience, so then she didn't think she would get hired. But then like the TA actually ended up calling her and like asking her if she like wanted to join this research project because she was like a part of it. So this was like the perfect example of the fact that like it's not always about what you know, but it's about who you know. And because she was able to make that connection with the teacher's assistant, it helped further her to help her like get into this research that she would have like otherwise like not even applied for. And this like also applies to the intimacy versus isolation stage thing, because if you don't form those relationships like early in your life, then you might not be able to have the opportunities that you would have otherwise had if you hadn't made those connections when you were younger. So that's all I have for you guys today, so thanks for listening.